it away, fellas.
Thank you, Voice Curl, and welcome once again to another edition of the Manspace Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, who also will not say anything else about Bronny James, the one and only Big Les.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man?
I got energy today, baby. Yeah.
That makes one of us, bro. That makes one of us. I'm struggling over here. Did you see the confrontation of LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, but what do you do? That's your son. And LeBron's, since I
He's
get
a grown
it.
man.
Yeah, I get it.
A grown man.
I get it, but still is his son. I ain't gonna let nobody talk trash about my son. But at the same time, you're a public figure. You put yourself out there. You gotta handle that.
You made this situation 50 times worse by trying to come to your son's defense. He's a grown man.
Yeah, he did.
He had the ultimate clapback of his own on Stephen A. Smith when he put Stephen A's career points. He tweeted that out.
Yeah.
So let him handle his own. Your son is grown. It'd be one thing if you're talking about a 15, 16-year-old, something like that.
Yeah.
No, this is a grown man.
Yeah. Well, Bronny, it's unfortunate.
He's what? He's 19?
19. He's gonna live in his father's shadow for a long time. He should have won the golf.
Basically.
Yeah, I wouldn't have played basketball. Not if my daddy is who his daddy is.
Right.
Michael Jordan's son, LeBron's son.
Hey, Michael Jordan's son, too busy trying to knock off Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, he trying to knock Scottie Pippen. He trying to make Scottie a grandpappy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but there is some children though out there that I think is going to make their fathers proud.
More times than not, the child is not, especially if the parent was of that level. I mean, there's a lot of guys that the child is way better than the dad. Or they living up to the expectations, like Marvin Harrison Jr., right?
Yeah.
Right? He's gonna be, if he keeps up the path he's gonna be he's gonna be a monster. Right.
You know what I mean? But you do have something. But look at the Currys. You know what I'm saying? Their dad was pretty good. He made a pro.
Dell is a beast.
They'll shoot your lights out, but that got passed on, right? Because Steph won't just shoot your lights out; he gonna put them out. You know what I'm saying? He'll put your lights out.
So I met Dell one night. This was after a Hornets game, and they had it was a Monster Energy giveaway night. Right. So me and I mentioned, my best friend, right? The female, right? We were at the game together, right?
Right.
Before, if anybody's listening, this is before I was single.
Long time
ago, right?
Yeah.
So we were coming out of the game. As a matter of fact, they weren't even the Hornets then; they were still the Bobcats.
Still Bobcats.
So, yeah. So we're coming out of the game. And we got 2 energy drinks, and we're on the elevator. Here comes Del Curry, Stephanie Reddy, and I can't think of the other commentator that would do Steve Martin.
Okay.
So the 3 of them get on the elevator. And so they speak, and Del says, man, because she got her energy drink, but she didn't want it, so she gave it to me. So I'm holding 2 energy drinks.
Right.
And Steve's like, man, that dude need his energy. He got 2 energy drinks. Steve Martin says, I would take 2 energy drinks too. Look at her.
Right. You knew where that was going. You knew where that was going.
Stephanie's like, oh, I just can't take these 2 anywhere.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I'm sitting there, and I played into it too. I was like, well, yeah, man, got to keep that energy up, man.
Gotta keep that. Yeah.
You know how they doing these R&B songs? They set a brother up.
For real. What happened to the 2-minute songs? Why y'all gotta make it 5? You know what I'm saying?
See, rap songs gave you reality.
Yeah,
R&B,
yeah. R&B took it to a different level. And we ain't trying to play the whole A side or B side. Remember the albums? You know what I'm saying? You had one side that was 35, 45 minutes long.
Yes.
A song was 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh,
Yep.
you wasn't right. You was getting put out, cuz. You wasn't right. You was getting put out. You know what I'm saying? 7 minutes.
You are so right about that. My mom was telling me that she went to go see the Isley Brothers one day.
Mm-hmm. Old school or new school?
Old school.
Oh, okay, okay.
Isley Brothers,
okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what it was. It Ernie that played the guitar?
Ernie. Yep.
He did a guitar solo.
Yeah.
That was like 18 minutes long.
Yeah, I was about to say it's probably Stairway to Heaven or
people
something.
Were leaving. People were leaving the show because he stayed on that guitar so long. Like just straight up.
Just plucking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Choosy lover. Oh, so choosy.
Oh man.
My bad, I had to fall back.
Hey, look, we need to change the subject before people start leaving us with you singing.
Yeah, you ain't never lied. The viewers went down again. Oh man, he on there doing. Oh no,
we gotta go again.
Here you go.
But you know what, man? But Les, for as long as we've done this show, a lot of times when I do stuff, I don't quite tell you when I'm doing it.
Nope.
Because I like to do it and I spring it to you on the show because I want your natural reaction to it.
Yes.
So, and Man Space Nation, if his reaction is not good, this whole segment will be cut out.
It will be replaced by one that was recorded later.
Yes, absolutely.
Hold on. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
All right.
You can use that.
So I gotta drop in with some breaking news.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Let's hear it.
Les, it's time. It is no longer coming soon. WTMS TV is live.
Oh,
right now,
man!
As we're recording this episode,
I got goosebumps. You can't see them.
It is up
some lotion
right
too.
now.
God, I got goosebumps.
Yes, sir. You can grab your phone.
Yes, sir.
And pull it up right now. WTMSTV.com.
Boy, I can't remember all that. I went to public school. Hold on. WTMSTV.com. Let's check it out. Oh, there goes sis. Yeah.
It is up. It is live. Yeah. It's been running the last couple days here.
It's been a journey.
Yeah, it has been a journey. It has definitely been a journey, or as my mother would like to say, it's a whole. It's not just a journey; it's a whole trip. But so what's going to
Okay.
happen is on Thursdays we're
Mhm.
going to do this little ditty starting next week. We'll do this on Thursdays.
Okay.
It
Okay.
will be
Okay.
Throwback Thursday on the Man Space Podcast.
Yeah.
So on WTMS TV, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time,
Yeah.
you'll be able to catch some classic episodes of the Man Space Podcast.
There you
It's going
go.
to be every Thursday night. WTMSTV.com.
Yeah, look
on
at that.
Thursday.
My head was shaved on all those photos. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you my brother.
What?
Telling
Yeah,
you.
man. You
I'm
know.
loving it. Oh man, that's gonna be great, bro. I gotta check that out. So y'all gotta stay, y'all gotta get in there with it. Get in there with us. You've been with us this
Get in
long.
there. Get in there.
Stay in there.
Yeah, man. That's why I have bags under my eyes right now. I have put in a lot of late nights, getting this thing together and getting it up, and
I know you did.
I am tired, and I am going to bed like immediately after we finish the show.
I'm not. I got work to do. Side project. Just stuff. Got to get done.
Stuff does have to get done, bro.
Stuff gotta get done.
Right now, I'm gonna take a break from it right now.
Hey man, you deserve it. You are one of the hardest working men I know, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. If I didn't know you as well as I do, I would have swore you were from Jamaica. How many jobs you got, man? How many jobs you got, man? Dread, how many jobs you got, man?
More than three. More than three.
You got more than five, bro. More than five, bro.
More than five. Yes. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a
blessing. It's a blessing that you're able to do this and bless others with your talents. You know, just imagine. I couldn't do half of the things that you do. You know,
it took a lot.
It took a lot.
A lot of trial and error.
And listen, I'm going to give you your flowers now because, you know, a lot of times you don't get those. Something has to happen or reach a certain point. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is incredible. He takes on these tasks with no end in sight, and he finishes them. He takes them all the way through to fruition. He is a master at his craft. Everything you see, hear, do, launch, this man is the driving force behind it. So I'm going to give you your flowers today, bro. I'll tell you, thank you. We wouldn't be where we are without you at this point. You know?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Anytime, man.
I definitely.
I want you to put some after mic, some clap, some flowers in there. You're going to drop some confetti. That's what you got to do. I don't know. We'd have had enough confetti dropped on us in our day.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we will.
We're done with that one. We're done with that one. And let's go ahead and reset, regroup. Let's take a break and come back and get into our topic of the day.
Yeah.
So, big bro,
what's happening, bro?
So I sent you this video earlier in the week.
Yes, sir.
And it was really interesting to me, basically, and really kind of not even piggybacking on what we
Mhm.
talked about last week was as far as the dating in the office, but
Mhm.
it goes a little bit further into the whole marriage thing, right? We
Yeah.
both were um, we both met women that we worked with. We ended up marrying those women, and we basically both been kind of elevated to higher heights
Yeah, absolutely.
during
Yeah.
that time frame.
Mhm.
So I want to play this video,
Sure.
and I want to get the reaction from you afterwards. All right.
All right. Let's check that.
A wife helps a man fulfill his potential, which means a man can be more with a wife than without a wife. Now, a lot of guys don't want to be married because, well, but then I'm stuck with this one person. Yeah, but guess what? They stuck with you too, bro. That stuck thing is a two-way street. And by the way, you're better off, like all of us would be better off being in a relationship that we are in covenant with, that we can't just run away from because it's hard. And by the way, if you are going to be married, it is going to be hard sometimes because number one, you did not marry yourself. In fact, you probably married the opposite of yourself. And opposites attract until they attack.
I ain't heard a lie yet. I, I 100% agree. Because you
Yeah.
can be with the wrong woman or man and not get anything in life.
True.
Be stuck.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But as soon as you
so-
get with the right one, life
Mhm.
starts moving, and things change. Yeah,
I
man.
think his theory suggests that marriage helps a man reach his potential. I think there is a two-way street about that one because
Yeah.
we as a marriage we are there to push each other.
That's
It's not
true.
just her
Sure.
push me,
Her
her
pushing
push
me.
me, her
That's
push
right.
me. No,
right.
we're there to push each other to make each
Mhm.
other better,
Yeah.
right? Arguing that a man is better off with a wife than without a wife.
It could go both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just say when a man is ready for a wife,
Yes.
he should have one. When he's
Yeah.
not ready
Yeah.
for a wife, he should not entertain marriage at all.
Mhm.
If he wants to have multiple relationships and doing the things he wants to do, don't get married. Don't get married,
Right.
bro. Don't get married. But when you're ready to get married and you want that one, do so. It is when it's right, it's a beautiful thing.
So you've hit on this right off the bat that you do agree that a man can be more with a wife than without.
With the wife that it is a true relationship. It is a responsible, respected marriage between both of you. Yes, I think that will elevate both parties. Right?
Let me ask you this. If your
Mhm.
spouse,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say this spouse, I know you can only answer it from your point of view and from a
That's
male
right.
point of view, but
That's
I'm gonna
right.
say spouse because we're gonna cover both sides in this question.
Okay.
If your spouse is not pushing you to be better, do better, not, and this isn't like nagging, right? This isn't, oh, you need to do this and you need to do this and you need to do this. No, this is encouraging you and motivating you to be better and
Mhm.
do better. Do you feel that if that's the wrong one, if that person is not doing that for you?
Depends on where I'm at in my life.
Mm.
I think, because at some point, everybody needs that cheerleader in their corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody needs a coach, right?
Mhm.
Every the most famous athletes or whatever you want to call them, all had coaches and mentors
Yeah.
to help push them to the next levels. If you're with the right woman, that's what she would be: a coach, a mentor, a cheerleader, a teammate, right? Because the push is together. It's not, hey, you need to do this. She might see where you're not motivated and motivates you or gives you something that inspires you to go harder. You know,
Mhm.
it's important to have that. And I think that the right woman in your corner will do that instinctively,
Mhm.
you know, and I think, yes, I think it's very important to have that.
How do you think a commitment, having that, actually shapes personal growth within a marriage? When you look at it, we're saying that the man. How is it that that spouse helps shape that person, helps push it?
Well, I think it's more of a it's more of a let's just say for me, right? I can't let her fall,
Mhm.
right? I can't. So I got to do what I need to do to make things work so she doesn't fall. She doesn't fall, we don't fall.
Right.
So for me, it's always about taking care of my wife and making sure she's,
Mhm.
and it's not just a blanket statement taking care of my wife. I'm not talking about just monetarily. We both pay bills, right?
Mhm.
This is everything else, you know, spiritually, emotionally, physically,
Mhm.
around the house, doing things, paying attention, listening to her,
Right.
you know, those things. I'm helping, her get some of the things off of her as well.
I like it.
You
I
know,
like it.
and that in return, she does the same thing to me. Right now,
Yeah.
she ain't gonna cut no grass, but she'll tell me how to do it though. Now let me stop messing. But she may not cut grass, okay?
Right.
But I don't wash clothes.
So let me ask you this, because last week we talked about how our spouses are opposite of us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he says in
You
the
said that.
video that
Opposite,
opposites
which is
attract
right. Yes,
until,
they attack.
yeah.
Yeah,
So how do you feel like when that attack is coming? How do you deal with the difficulties of being with somebody who is opposite you
yeah.
at that point?
It's so here's a perfect example, right?
Mhm.
I'm a little messy. People can't tell. I I got that messy type of aura. She is not. Okay.
Mhm.
So she would come to my office and just stand in the doorway, right? And she has this certain look. She's like, I'm gonna get in here. I'm about to clean this office up for him, you know. And I tell her, before you even think that, back up. Get up on up out of here. This ain't your space. You could go any place else in the house. That's your space. And I make sure I tidy up in your space. But in my space, if I want to leave a piece of crumbled up paper over there because I missed it shooting hoops in the trash can, I'm going to leave it there. I'll pick it up when I'm ready to pick it up.
Uh,
Okay. But we just set clear boundaries, right? Now we both crossed them at times, but we're quickly, we're quick to back up, you know, and back away from that
yeah.
because we know how each other are. We're opposites. She likes everything freaking tidy. I'm like, okay, my desk is in chaos, but you can't ask me where any you know. I bet you I know where everything is on my desk.
Mm.
You know, so don't come in here touching stuff. And I can always tell when she been in here messing, moving papers around. Get out of there. Stay out of here. Right? These papers are in my alphabetical order. Okay.
Right.
Not yours, mine.
Right.
You know, but how do you find stuff? It's real simple. I remember where I leave stuff. You know?
Funny, we had that same conversation. Same conversation.
I'm telling you, man. I bet you, and it's like the food thing, right? We don't want to put a lot of energy. Guys don't want to put a lot of energy in it, right? She says to me today,
Right.
what are we going to eat? I don't care. Are you cooking or not? No, I'm not cooking.
Right.
Well, I mean, shoot, let's hit the first restaurant.
Right.
There it is. You know, oh, I mean, I don't want Mexican. Then tell me what you do want, love.
Right.
You know, tell me what you do want. You want a hamburger? Oh, that sounds great. Now, from where? If I'm paying for it, we going to Five Guys or Big Daddy Burgers or something. If she's paying for it, we're going 99-cent meal. Let me say, she ain't that cheap. She better now. She better now. I used to tease her because anything over $20 made her whole head swell up. You know, she'd be like, "Oh, I can't believe I spent $20 on this." I spent $50 on our meals. This was way back when we was dating. Now our meals are $100.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can't leave a restaurant without $100 tab. You know, it's just like, what happened to the days of $25, $30, baby? Them been gone. But we're opposite in that way too. I don't mind blowing a little cash. You know, I feel like we work hard. Yeah, I feel like we work hard. You know, you want to blow a little bit of money, go ahead, blow a little bit of cash. Now that tight wad I got in there, boy, she squeaked when she walked. She squeaked. She hold the purse strings tight. But I ain't never in need of nothing because I always got. Because my wife makes sure I take care of the happy good times, and she's gonna take care of all the others. You know, so
when you look at, you know, you talk about the guys that don't want the wife, right? The idea of being stuck in a relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like some guys just have a negative connotation on marriage, period? And where did that come from? And how do you change that mindset?
I don't know if you can change the mindset, honestly. I think that I don't think it's something that should be changed. I think that every man has to make the decision for themselves, whether they're ready or not. Right? So it's not something that you can just say, "Oh, let's turn off the switch on this." If he still feels that way, that he wants to be in the field, you need to be in the field then. Understand that what you could possibly get is not in the field. Right? So understand, when you leave that sitting on the sidelines to go into the field, somebody else sees what you left on the side. Not a threat, just making sure you understand the everything that goes down with this. Everything ain't gonna be roses. Everything ain't gonna be great. But if you want to play the field, go play the field. Don't lie to females. Let them know, hey, I'm dating. You know, you ain't got to tell them your body count or tell them how many chicks you're dating, but you're dating. Right? Simple and plain. But when you with her, and that's it. You know, because she ain't gonna give you everything you got, everything she got to give you if she thinks you're giving what you got to somebody else.
True. I think a lot of men who are and even women
Mm-hmm.
who are sour on marriage
Mm-hmm.
is based on what they've seen from their parents.
You think so?
I think so. I think
I,
so.
I think some of it. I think
I
some.
think a lot. I think a lot of it is,
Yeah.
you know,
I
because
don't know.
you know we talk a lot about, you know, they say generational curses, right?
Yeah.
The stuff comes downhill. So it's like, and children are sponges, right?
It's
So if
true.
you
True.
see that your your dad is abusive, and I'm using this just because I watched Purple Rain this weekend. Uh, but
Oh,
your dad is abusive,
yeah.
and maybe you turn out just like your father, too bold.
Maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied.
But yeah, his dad used to beat his mom,
True.
and he was like, "I'll never be like you. I'll never be like you." And then when he got the opportunity,
He was like his dad.
he smacked around Apollonia,
Mm-hmm.
right? It rolled downhill. So it's like a lot of times, depending on how people see relationships, like if you didn't grow up with stability, you don't know how to be stable in a relationship until
I,
you get
I,
an example. You got to get an example to break that from you.
yeah. I agree to a certain extent
Okay.
because just like anything else, you could see something and that could be completely against what your wishes are,
Mhm.
right? You could grow up in a household of domestic violence, but never ever once lay your hand on your wife or your child because you know what the trauma
The
is. You
trauma,
know
but
that
you
trauma,
dealt with it.
but you had to deal with it. You had to deal
Right.
with it.
See, a lot of people don't deal with those issues, so it
Mhm.
creeps back up into them.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
they don't, so they don't know that a lot of times when you sitting on that therapist's couch,
Mhm.
they're pulling back to some childhood trauma from what you saw,
Yeah.
and
Well,
they're just basically trying to help you
most
uncover that.
most of it is. Most of it
Yeah,
is childhood trauma.
yeah,
Most of it is things you've encountered, the essay and all these different things.
yeah. The stories that I've heard, man, from these older cats
Mhm.
and you know and them growing up and dealing with, you know, watching their dads or stepdads and you know
Yeah.
and the relationships that their parents have and how it played into them, and they're like, well, you know what, I didn't want to be like them, but it turns out I was just like them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know better.
It's
And
amazing
it
though.
took a lot of people, whether it's therapy, whether it's the church, whether it takes something to
Something pulls it out.
help
Yeah.
pull
Yeah.
that out of you and help you realize this is not what I want to be.
Yeah. Most of
Because
the time
until you
it's
deal with it,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say most of the time it's some sort of trauma.
Hmm.
Some sort of trauma that you're dealing with that caused this awakening,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
the bad part about it is it's always been there.
Mhm.
It's just never showed its ugly little head.
Yeah.
It's always been there. It's sad, but
You
true.
know, I kind of never thought about the whole thing of being stuck. It's basically a two-way street, you know.
Yeah, yeah. She's stuck
You
with your
know, she's stuck.
DA
She's stuck.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but that really changes the perspective on it. It's not just you stuck with her; she's stuck with you.
Yeah. But listen, it's a
so
learning
all
experience on
together, right?
both sides. It's learning on
Right.
both sides. How do you know what you don't like if you've never experienced it?
True.
How do you know? And on the flip side of that, how you know what you like if you never experienced it?
Yeah.
So you got to go through some things in order to understand who you are as a person. It took me 40 something years to realize who I was.
Yeah. The thing that got me was toward the end, when he was talking about the whole thing of the attraction and the attack, right? It's interesting to me that the things that attract us to our partners can eventually become a source of conflict.
The thing that could break you. Absolutely.
Yeah, it could be something. The one thing that you really attracted to about your partner, maybe it's something that they would do for you and they don't do it anymore.
Could be the thing that break you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's that old saying, it's cheaper to keep her. But all I'm saying is that you got to do what you did to get her to keep her. And the same thing for a woman. You got to do the same thing for a man.
So I think sometimes what a man does to get a woman, he might, especially if he's going way overboard with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. He's basically setting a precedent that's not sustainable.
Yeah, but that's fool's play. That's on him. You got to know better than that. All facades break. All of them. All of them. It doesn't matter what type of facade you try to put up. If you're putting up a facade, it's going to eventually break. You're sending smoke screens, you're doing whatever you want to call it. Eventually, it will break. You got to stop. Can't be out here throwing up smoke screens and wearing masks, and then get mad when the masks start chipping and they start seeing who you truly are.
True.
Can't get mad about that. You got to. You meet a man or a woman, be yourself, man. Be who you are, because I don't want to fall in love with a made up character that you have, that you can't maintain. Same way with me. I don't want you to marry or fall in love with a character I done made up in my brain. I'm this great guy, right? When I know I was just down the street drinking liquor and shooting craps. That don't mean you're a bad guy. But when I was growing up, if you was down at the alley drinking liquor and shooting craps, you probably had a razor or a pistol in your sock. Sorry. That's why I don't shoot dice.
I never did that, so I can't co-sign with you. I
never did either.
I
never did either. I was around it my whole life and never did.
I was never around it, so
really.
I don't.
We grew up in different places, and I grew up in. I ain't gonna say a slum. I lived in a middle class neighborhood, but it was still that place.
Yeah,
you can get it all.
Where I grew up is absolute hood now, but back then it was pretty nice.
Oh God, man,
it's straight.
My neighborhood is my neighborhood. Oh, bro, ain't no way I move back over there, man. Yeah. Ain't no way, bro. Can't do it, man. But hey, different strokes for different folks. It's unfortunate, but you can't go out here and act like you're somebody else and you're not, and expect this woman, when she finds out, to trip on you or to change face because you changed the face. So
yeah. Let's go ahead and get the last word in.
All right.
And now, the last word.
All I want to say is this, ladies and gentlemen, is in a relationship, you got to know who you're dealing with,
Yeah.
right? And you got to know, what things set them off, what things motivate them, what things you need to know everything about the person that you're with, right? Because at some point in time, these things are going to come in handy. You're going to have to use them either to help, to do something. I would never say hurt nobody, but people get into arguments, people talk, and it's unfortunate. Conversations hurt people, but you got to know who you're dealing with every single day. And if this is someone you love and you want to be with and you trust and you want to build with, you got to give them the tools to do it.
Yeah.
You got to give them the tools to do it. That's all.
Of course, not every situation is going to be the same. We know we're generalizing in this one, but marriage should be, we are always pushing each other to be the best and push themselves forward. I should not be trying to hold my spouse stagnant. I should not be trying to hold her back for anything. I should be trying to push her forward to be her best. Yeah, the outcome does depend on individuals and how they navigate the ups and downs, because there will be times, hey, you may not like your spouse today, but you know what? You still want them, you still need to be that cheerleader in the corner, no matter what. Because that's your spouse. You got to uplift them. You got to uplift her. You got to keep pushing her forward. Yeah, marriage is going to be presented with difficulties. It's going to be ups and downs and lefts and rights and twists and turns that are going to come towards you. But the ultimate goal is to push each other forward and make each other better. I was watching this video the other day, and it was Neo, and gosh, and I can hear the hook. It was the one with him and Fabulous, and he's talking about I'm a movement by myself, but we're a force when we're together.
Yeah,
he was saying
that
he initially wrote that song for Jay-Z. He was sitting there and he was working on a different song, and Jay-Z and Beyonce was sitting there in the corner, and that's how the hook came to him. And so he did the song for Jay-Z.
Right.
And Jay-Z was like, after listening to it a little bit, he's like, man, this is more of an R&B song. So Jay-Z gave it back to him. He was like, yeah, this is more of an R&B song than a rap song, right? And Fabulous ended up hearing it. And so he did his lyrics for it. But it was initially supposed to be Jay-Z, but it was about Jay-Z and Beyonce, how they basically made each other. I mean, they're not billionaires on their own. Maybe Beyonce, but Jay is not a billionaire on his own. I don't think he's a billionaire on his own, because a lot of that stuff came after they were together.
Oh, after that. Well,
a lot of his stuff came after they were together. It wasn't just music. I mean, you got to look at all the other deals that he made. A lot of that stuff came after they were together.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think that I don't know.
But the goal is to make each other better. I can do good by myself, or people always say, I can do bad by myself, right?
Yeah.
But the goal is not to be with somebody that's going to make you worse. The goal is to be with someone that's going to help you be better.
Right. Absolutely.
And I look at this show, right, and what we've done, over 5 seasons and coming 6 this summer,
right.
if it wasn't for the relationships that we ended up developing with our spouses,
Right.
I don't think we're here. I don't think we're here.
I don't
I mean,
think
there's
so
been so
either.
many times that I'm like, gosh, I'm tired. I
Me
don't
too.
want to do the show anymore. We need to cut this off. And she continues to push me to keep going.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, man, I mean, in the opening, WTMS TV.com.
Right.
Hey, make sure you check it out, people.
Yeah.
Is live today because she pushed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. We said it, and we say it a million times. We'll continue to say it. If your spouse does not motivate you, you might have the wrong spouse.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mine inspires me. That's why I said, you said you're going to take a nap. I was like, I can't. I got more work to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on another journey as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you're on these journeys, you still have to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop. You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Gotta answer the call when it knocks. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was well said. And at this point, my friend, we are going to take it to a break.
Henry Smith was a black inventor in the late 1800s whose genius threatened the status quo. His contributions should have been celebrated, but instead, he met a tragic and violent end. In post-slavery America, black success was met with resentment. Despite these challenges, Henry's brilliance shone in the field of agricultural innovation. Smith's inventions aimed to improve farming efficiency, helping farmers save time and labor. But his ideas were seen as a threat by white landowners, who feared losing control. One of Henry's groundbreaking inventions, a cotton refining process, drew the attention of local elites. His ingenuity disrupted the economic power of plantation owners. Jealousy and racism brewed. False accusations spread that Henry had committed a crime. The allegations had no evidence, but were enough to seal his fate. In 1893, a white mob abducted Henry. They tortured him in public, making his death a spectacle for thousands. It was a brutal reminder of the dangers of black excellence in America. Henry's murder wasn't about justice. It was about maintaining racial and economic control, silencing a man whose intelligence threatened white supremacy. Henry Smith's story is a chilling example of how systemic racism stifled black progress. His name may be forgotten by many, but his legacy as a symbol of resilience and innovation lives on. We must honor geniuses like Henry and ensure their stories, though tragic, are not lost to history. Henry Smith was a black inventor in the late 1800s whose genius threatened the status quo. His contributions should have been celebrated, but instead, he met a tragic and violent end. In post-slavery America, black success was met with resentment. Despite these challenges, Henry's brilliance shone in the field of agricultural innovation. Smith's inventions aimed to improve farming efficiency, helping farmers save time and labor. But his ideas were seen as a threat by white landowners, who feared losing control. One of Henry's groundbreaking inventions, a cotton refining process, drew the attention of local elites. His ingenuity disrupted the economic power of plantation owners. Jealousy and racism brewed. False accusations spread that Henry had committed a crime. The allegations had no evidence, but were enough to seal his fate. In 1893, a white mob abducted Henry. They tortured him in public, making his death a spectacle for thousands. It was a brutal reminder of the dangers of black excellence in America. Henry's murder wasn't about justice. It was about maintaining racial and economic control, silencing a man whose intelligence threatened white supremacy. Henry Smith's story is a chilling example of how systemic racism stifled black progress. His name may be forgotten by many, but his legacy as a symbol of resilience and innovation lives on. We must honor geniuses like Henry and ensure their stories, though tragic, are not lost to history.
Who would have ever known that?
Yeah. That was a deep one, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that, and it's happened time and time and time again.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
You've seen, I'm not going to get on the soapbox.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's a chilling soapbox, right? It's very chilling and telling that the world is still this way. It's just done a different way.
It's just done a different way. It's just done a different way.
I don't care what nobody says. People can get mad all they want to. The rules of the game are the same. They're just played differently now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just played differently.
That's it.
I mean, and when you really think of it, look at the stories from the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And how that stuff can be still relevant to
still
this day.
Relevant to this day.
The game is the same.
The game is the same. It's just played differently.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'm writing it down. What's going on with you?
Well, my royalties on that one.
Right. Oh man!
All right, Manspace Nation. Remember Thursdays, Throwback Thursday, on WTMSTV.com.
Woo! Yeah, baby.
And on that note,
we out of here.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Man Space.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Man Space updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at manspacenat1.
Until next time, Man Space Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out of here.
Boy, you know I can't remember all that. You know I went to public school.